in areas such as Wunaliet, Rajab, and other parts of the country are or have been under serious attacks by the Ugandan occupation force and SPLM-IG's newly recruited militia. These acts of aggression by the SPLM-IG and its allies has put the whole Araskis at risk. And as the occupation force of Uganda and newly recruited militia of the SPLM-IG are on offensive on our position, we want our SPLA-IO forces to be on maximum alert for self-defense. One message I want to also deliver to the international community is that the life of past-by President, His Excellency Dr. Riyad Mashar, is at risk, and is at risk because the past-by President is in confinement by the government. And on our side, we believe that Dr. Riyad Mashar, the first by President of the Republic of South Sudan, chairman of the SPLM, SPLA-IO, and commander-in-chief of our armed force, was not captured by SPLM-IG and its forces on the battlefield. It was the region and international community that restrained him for the reasons of peace. We therefore want the region and international community who restrained Dr. Riyad Mashar for the reason of peace to make sure that his life is safe. And one thing that we also want to bring to the attention of the people of South Sudan, the region and international community, is that an attempt on the life of the first Vice President, Dr. Riyad Mashar, will complicate every situation in our country. It will kill the spirit of national healing and reconciliation in the future. It will also be an obstacle to nationhood and nation building. We therefore want the SPLM-IG and the region and international community that is safety, is physical safety, is physical security is paramount if we want South Sudan to have a nationhood, if we want South Sudan to be a state. Well, the problem of Nasser has been used as a ploy by the SPLM-IG and its allies, but the fact is, SSPDF in Nasser has been very arch and hostile to the host community of Nasser for years, since 2014. And this acts of hostility was actually investigated by JDB and other peace partners. What came out from this investigation was that the SPDF in Nasser was actually responsible for all the problem, for all hostility that exists between them and the host community in Nasser. And out of this recommendation also came out of this investigation, there was also a recommendation by the JDB and other peace partners regarding the situation in Nasser, that the SSPDF in Nasser have to be replaced with unified forces. But this recommendation was unilaterally rejected by the SPLM-IG, and they insisted on deployment of non-unified forces, which is not even SSPDF. It is tribal militias comprising of Agulek Force and Abushok. So this was rejected by the community in Nasser because they believe that the coming of these forces again will not resolve the problem. The recommendation was, if the forces in Nasser have to be replaced, they have to be replaced by the unified force. And this is what instigates an attacks on SSPDF position by the youth in Nasser. And the youth, after the SSPDF was overrun in Nasser, actually made it clear to all of us that what they do not want in the presence of troops in Nasser, it's not to eliminate the SSPDF force in the area, because after the barrack was overrun, the armed youth have handed over the remaining SSPDF forces, while the government is doing campaign bombing the community in Nasser with barrel bombs. So this is a clear show that the community of Nasser did not only want the SSPDF, they do not want tribal militia of Abushoks and Agulek. this is something that the international community should really understand, and this is what everyone in the country should know. The other important point is that this Nuer armed youth referred to as white army, who have been labeled as terrorists, as militia, is completely untrue. The fact is that these Nuer armed youth referred to as white army are ordinary members of Nuer community, mainly of young age, who come together in response to perceived threat. So they are not militia, they are not terrorists, and they have never undergone military training. They do not have command centers, they do not have command structures, they do not have training in military discipline, which is unlike militias that the government, that the SPLM Haji recruit, provided arm, and send them home waiting for a call to duty. So this is these groups include Abu Shok, Agulek, Gelbeng, Gelwen, and others who have undergone military training, have been given arms, and then have the military structures and formation, but sent home as a reserve force. So the accusation that the Nuer armed youth referred to as white as militia and as terrorists is baseless and unfortunate. So we want the region, the international community, not to consider it. So it is the government that is now recruiting militia, that it provides with training, gives arm, and then send them to fight. This is what the region and everyone in the country really need to know. My other the other important things that I also want to bring to the public